This episode is for the girls that really struggle to put boundaries. They struggle and they feel guilty to really say no to people. They feel like if they did, they would lose their friendship, their relationship, or maybe they would just simply feel bad and guilty for saying no when deep down they sacrifice themselves even, and they even a little bit sabotage themselves just to please other people. It's a disease because you put other first. Maybe you see it as something that is selfless, something that you think that will make that person love you more, but really you're just doing a disservice to yourself. This is what we're going to be introducing today. Welcome to Chats with Chiara, and today will be like a no-filter conversation, something that we all do, whether you're a girl or a guy. We need to just start getting a little bit better with our boundaries, right? And let's talk about different scenarios. We'll be talking about, obviously applies to dating, work situations, friendships, etc. Now, first, a person that's got weak boundaries is because probably they've learned since childhood that saying or voicing what they wanted was dangerous. Maybe because back in your childhood, if you were to express your opinion or your want, you were either ridiculed for that, and it was just simply not accepted. Maybe you were raised in a family that is mostly scientific and you were very artisty instead, so showing who you really were and what you really liked was not safe because it was just not accepted. And when you're a child and that is your obviously first way of attaching to people, you think that expressing yourself and who you are is wrong. So you learn slowly as a coping mechanism that you always need to agree, you need to say yes. If you get angry, maybe you get punished, so it's better not to. So you learn how to be a very good girl or a very good boy, whatever it is, but you slowly kind of lose your identity, you accommodate too much when you shouldn't, and you just keep kind of feeling bad for yourself. Let's start with dating. I feel like that's one of the most popular things because we all kind of do it and we all kind of seem to attract the same people that we give so much, we give 100% and we receive so little. So we need to start really setting some rules slowly, because it will be very difficult, especially if you're a people pleaser, to start really getting these points across. First of all, you need to just start to slowly relearn who you are and what you like and what you dislike, because maybe you've been so used to accommodating people that you are in a state and in a point in your life that you don't even know what you like, what kind of things are okay for you, what your boundaries even are. You even forgot about it. That is when you're literally so used to saying yes, yes. But normally an easy way to kind of recognize is to listen to yourself, and is a little feeling that kind of is inside you. You feel bad, you feel guilty, you feel like you're kind of betraying yourself. It's that feeling of betrayal towards yourself that is still there. And if you learn to tune into it, you'll start recognizing when you do that thing. And especially could be, for example, like the need to, when you're dating somebody, and the need to simply have somebody that is consistent, that speaks to you all the time, for example, consistently. You might be somebody that needs to be reassured every day, and that person initially, they give you all, they call you, they text you, they give you everything you want, and then all of a sudden they start giving you less. So they text you less, they don't call you anymore until they start ghosting you for a day. Maybe that day now becomes 2 days. And you, instead of just addressing it the first time that you see this bad behavior, you kind of withhold and you think, wait, if I actually say something, maybe he might think that I'm too much, or he might run away. So what you do, you kind of start living with that anxiety, you suffer inside, you don't say anything, and you let that person do what they're doing to you. So that is already a sign of people pleasing, because you know what your boundaries are or what your needs and wants are, and instead of clearly addressing it to the person, you kind of just refrain from doing so because you've got that fear of losing that person. Maybe if you say that, then that's it. They will start arguing, they'll start thinking I'm annoying, they start thinking I'm too much. So you just be quiet and you kind of start waiting for that person to understand that they should. But that person doesn't know what you're thinking in your head. So it kind of becomes a vicious cycle. So you start building resentment deep down, even though you want to appear as the nice, good girl, you start feeling bad. You cannot mask your feelings. You cannot mask who you are. Even if you pretend, you'll still have that feeling inside of you of disappointment, of rage even. So maybe it could either that you ignore it, or you might start even playing little games. So you might start, okay, he didn't message me for a week, so now I'll be mad at him for like 2 days and I will not speak to them and I will not reply to them. So they just, on the other side, they will just see, okay, great, that's what she's like, then I'll take other 2 days because she likes that. So you'll keep doing that, or maybe you'll do even worse, now a week, and you'll start getting more angry until you finally explode and you say, why are you like this, la, 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 until you reach that point and that person literally calls you crazy. Because where is that coming from? You were all peace, calm and quiet, and now you're mad. Currently, now you exploded, so you start sending those huge paragraphs if you get to that point. Or you simply just, you could be one of those people that just doesn't say anything. You just let that person ghost you and then return, and when they return, you're available to them again, even if you're suffering inside. If you keep telling yourself that it's okay, but that person keeps disrespecting you because they just think she doesn't have any boundaries, I can disappear for a month and then I'll be back and see, she might give me a little bit nya nya nya. But see, I'm back, she's back with me, I can do whatever I want, maybe he can come and sleep with you, you can do whatever you want, so you're sending that message to him. Even if you get mad with that person, doesn't matter, they don't register that, they just register the action. So what they're seeing is that even if you do get mad, that you don't have boundaries, they can cross them. You can state that you've got a boundary, but then you don't stick to it because you just, after a day, you forgive them, they come back into your life and you feel amazing. And they just can do it again, even more, even worse. And it's just a cycle. This is a cycle in, for example, a relationship. One of the many examples. But now let's say about a friendship. A friend asks you, hey, do you want to come in with me? They ask you for any favor and you're busy. You've got work, you've got things to do. You don't have time. But you know what? You know that it's for them, it's for their friendship. You don't want to lose them. You don't want to think that you're not a good friend. So you say yes anyway. So you kind of have that feeling, you do that disservice to yourself, but you kind of just ignore it. Now, that person keeps doing it over and over again, but maybe one time when you do need them for something, they just don't have any problem telling you, sorry, I'm busy, or sorry, I'm with my partner, or sorry, I've got something else on. And at that point, you feel so betrayed because you think, hey, I do that for you all the time. I'm always there for you all the time, and you cannot do that simple thing for me. But the reality of that is that they learned that you don't have boundaries, so they can cross them all the time. They can ask you for favors all the time, which, by the way, can apply to work, things, shifts, schedules, or everything. And you always say yes, by the way, so they can do it all the time. But the moment you ask, because they know that you're too nice, you're not gonna get mad at them anyway, you'll be fine. That's why they keep using and abusing that power, basically. This is for somebody that has got no boundaries in any way. And people will know that you don't have boundaries because they will test you. A lot of people test you on a daily basis. Relationships, datings, husbands, anyone, like family members, people at work, strangers even, they will always test whether or not you have boundaries, and they will continue overcrossing and overstepping them until you actually show them that it's not okay to do that. And you think that being nice to a guy and always saying yes, always welcoming them back into your life when they're disrespecting and crossing your boundaries will make you more lovable. But I've got a question for you then at this point. That same guy that is keeping disrespecting you and crossing your boundaries every single time, that comes back and then disappears and then goes and then disappears and comes back into your life, are you married with him? Are you in a good, stable relationship with him? And I'm saying, are you married with him because he can say that he's in a relationship with you just to shut you up, but he's not really in a relationship with you. It's not real commitment. Is it actually really committed to you? What have you actually gained from this guy? Like, truly, has he given you anything to you apart from using you at this point? Because when people see that you have no boundaries, they have no worry of using you because you will not say anything. So what has been nice actually, where is it taking you being nice? Has it taken you to a point where now you're happier than somebody else in the street because at least you've got somebody? But are you truly happier? Or maybe making you nicer is making you more sad, more prone to people disrespecting you? This is what I want you to understand, because the logic of somebody that has got no boundaries is to avoid being alone and to look for connections. They sacrifice themselves and their needs for others so they can get love back. But how true is this love? How deep is this connection? Often it's not really deep because these people just use you and abuse you for anything. And these guys that are constantly taking and using you and coming back and disappearing and coming back and disappearing, they know that. And they don't respect you. They know that they can do anything to you. So they'll never respect you to the point to marry you, to be in a relationship with you, because they just don't have respect for you. You're just an accessory to them, and you're just a doormat. And I know that sometimes it's really hard to accept, but the truth is that the nicer you are and the more you don't have boundaries, the less value you will actually get from people. People will respect you less when you don't have boundaries. They know they can cross them anytime. They can do anything to you, and you will always forgive them, and you will always say yes. That is the truth of somebody that doesn't have any boundaries at all. How do we change this into something healthier? How do we slowly start building love for ourselves so that people see that we are strong? They start actually respecting us. They start loving us. They start giving us what we ultimately really want through connection, through love, the respect for who you are. Because when you say yes to anything, you're not even a real person. You're not even showing what your real needs are. You're a fake version of you. You say yes, 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 but it's almost like you're constantly, almost like customer service. Always smile, don't forget to smile. But it's not the real you. Behind you, there is a strong person that has got anger, that has got things, that likes, dislikes, everything that you never are ready to show to people because you're too afraid to lose them. But that same thing, that same attitude makes you lose them anyway. That is the sad truth, because you will feel so lonely after all. You will see that people don't stay, they will keep mistreating you, and you will feel worse. And you think, is that because maybe I've not even been nice enough? Have I said the wrong thing to him? Is it why I've done anything for him? Every time he comes, I forgive him. I try not to bother him too much. I try not to be. That's exactly the problem. Because you're being too nice. That is the problem. I can promise you. And you feel even worse because not only you're lonely, but you've been betraying yourself the whole time. So now it's about understanding instead what we do to build everything up and to start building some boundaries as well. So I've got actually a list of things that I use on myself, and I want you to also use for you, and that applies to love, relationships, any sort of relationship, work, or anything. You will see since the beginning the kind of investment and the test of the boundaries straight away, how somebody is treating you. Okay, let's start with the guys, because I feel like that is the most common topic, right? You will see the level of effort of somebody that is willing to put for you since even the first date. Okay, so they start chatting to you on Instagram, WhatsApp, or whatever. Everybody, by the way, I wanted to break something to you at the beginning. Everybody, normally, they are very interested into texting. So they will text you a lot, they will call you a lot. Normally, that's how it is. I mean, if they're not even texting you and calling you since the beginning, that's already like a red flag. Just cut it there. If they don't even have that interest to text you and hear from you, trust me, block them. Because then if it's you doing all the chasing for them, you're doing all that, you're kind of just looking desperate. That's not even like level 1. That's like minus ground floor, like minus underground. Like don't even, if not, they don't even show you like any sort of interest at the beginning to at least text you. It's actually embarrassing. So just block them. And I say block because if you say, okay, I will not speak to them, they will say, hey, after like 3 days, and say, hi, how are you? With loads of emojis. Can you see the level of like difference? Somebody says, hey, and you already put like a whole sentence when they just not even like care to ask you how you are. Look at the difference already. You can already say, how are you doing? I've been thinking about you. Like you write a paragraph and they just said, hey, and they just would reply, I'm good. Like this is the such low effort thing that if you see this, run. Stop trying to, oh, maybe if I say this, maybe I'm boring. Do I need to like, maybe you try to call them. Oh my God, that is so embarrassing. Don't do that. Like you already see the level of effort that they're putting. So what do you do from them? You just don't even want to play games, to be honest. You could either just match the energy. Hey, that's it. Someone say, hey, match the same energy. Hey, why are you putting 2 words, send 2 phrases, no, like emojis, things, no. Match the same level of energy. So that is number 1. But now let's do it the more hurtful ones, okay? So we're on even like more advanced sort of boundaries crossing. This is like even the bare minimum they shouldn't even entertain. But then there is the more professional ones, the ones that start texting you a lot at the beginning because you're a novelty, you're new into their life, so they don't know you, and also they want to get to know you, they want to test your boundaries. This is at the beginning, okay? So they call you almost every day, they text you like literally every hour, like they call you a lot at the beginning, sometimes a love bomb, by the way, and they see how available you are. They even start calling you on like ridiculous times in the morning, like 3 in the morning, midnight, like you're already in bed, and you're picking up, you're going out of the way to pick up and disrupt your sleep for them because you think, oh, I just don't want him to think that I'm doing something else or I'm not available for them. That is already the number one mistake. You're sleeping. Why are you already changing your sleeping routine for a person that you just met these weeks because you want to show them that you care? Don't change your routine ever for somebody. You should always keep and prioritize yourself. And let me tell you what happens when you don't, because I've been there, you've been there. Let's just explore this deeper, okay? Because I know that you're nice and sometimes he's stronger than you, okay? Yeah, he starts calling you every day, even like at crazy times when you are supposed to be sleeping, and you tell them, and you even know, oh, normally I like to sleep at 11. So you know what they do? They test you. They say, she sleeps at 11. Let's see if she picks up like at 12 or like at 2 in the morning even, to test your boundary. And what you do, you pick up, and they think, so you see, for me, she doesn't. So they feel already special. Okay, so that builds the ego up. So I can cross that boundary. Let's see what else I can do. Okay, so what they start doing now, because you're already allowed to overstep that boundary, they'll test it more. It's still excitement period. It's still like first week of getting to know you, texting you. So like they're just so into you. They send you pictures. They send you like, even they get you on dates. They see you. You're like, oh yeah, maybe. At the beginning, you're a little bit more like, let's see if he's good. But then like the more they give you, the more excited you get, and the more you overstep your boundaries. Maybe you've got work the next morning, you have to wake up really early, and they ask you last minute, hi, it's like 11. They either call you a crazy and they want to be 2 hours on the phone with you, or like they ask you, oh, do you want to go to the cinema? And it's like 11 p.m. And you say, yeah, of course, because you're so desperate for that love that of course you say yes. You want to see that. That's what connection is, the thing that you always wanted the most, right? Of course you say yes to crazy plans that you shouldn't, because you know that you got work, you know that you're busy, you know that you're gonna make yourself tired, but you say yes because you want that love that you think you never had. And they notice, they know, they'll start seeing, so she said she had work tomorrow, but you see, she's still letting me, she's still going out with me, and now she's chatting to me until 3 in the morning, or she's going out with me to watch a movie until like 4 or 3 a.m. Now she's awake. That's one of the many examples. It could be in the day as well, that you've got something on and you just put it away. Or maybe you've got plans with your friends and you cancel to see them instead. Because you're such a romantic, right? That will cost you soon, and you will see how. And a lot of you already know, because it's happened to you thousands of times and you keep doing it. I know you girlies, we all been there. The first week, maybe even the first month has passed. In these months, all they've done is try to test all your boundaries from left, right, and center. You're busy, let's see if you call. You're tired, let's see if you still want to go out. I can call you last minute to make plans last minute. She still accepts anything I can do at this point. So the guy thinks like that, or the woman. Can be any time. They start thinking at this point, whatever I do, she's okay with it. And they slowly start thinking, the more they see that you get, like the more you give them, the more they think, see, I can do anything to them and they're okay with it. You know what? I don't really need to do that, all this chasing. Why am I like calling her so much? Why am I like seeing her too much, texting her too much? I'm busy actually, you know. You know what, today I'm not gonna text her. Something changes. So they were giving you a lot of love, and all of a sudden one day they disappear. And you enter in panic. You start thinking, what the hell have I done? And have I written something wrong? Have I like said something wrong? Have I don't know, like what have I done? You as a good people pleaser, you'll start looking for the guilt in yourself. You're the problem. You'll start thinking, what have I done? Right? So you just become crazy, basically. Maybe have I done something wrong? So what you do is you text them first this time. Next mistake, they withdraw, you chase them more. So you start sending them memes, you say, hey, you try to call, and they reply. Then they just get excited because they're like, oh, look, I ignored her all day and she's chasing me now. What? So wait, let me step back even more. She's chasing me even more that way, you know? And you just like call them and they're like even like, how are you? Like, yeah, I'm good. Their tone has changed. They used to be so excited, say, maybe like ask you questions, how are you? How their tone has changed. They're like, yeah, I'm good. And you start having that anxiety inside you. I was like, why is it cold now? Why is it changed? Like you start overthinking, your overthinking brain. Hey, do you want to do something tonight? I'm busy. And you're like, oh, okay. Anyway, I have to go. I'll call you later, okay? And I say, oh yeah, sure. They hang up. They don't call you later. They don't call you tomorrow either. And you start thinking that I've done something wrong. There's something wrong with me. You get even crazier now. So you call them again. You start chasing. They just step back at this point. They don't need to do anything. You don't say anything. You don't address any boundaries. You don't say, why are you doing this? Or like, what's wrong with you? Or like, you just chase them and apologize and being all these crazy things. Or even if you do say, hey, what's wrong? They will just say, nothing is wrong. And you just say, oh, okay. Because you don't have boundaries. You don't want to ruffle any feathers, because if you said something, you're scared that they will leave you. They will just say, oh, you're crazy. And that's happened probably before. Maybe before you try to say, hey, I think you're getting distant from me. They either don't reply, or they change the topic, or they'll be like, are you crazy or what? Are you crazy? Stop being dramatic, man. So they gaslight you. That's even worse, man. We are on a different level right now, okay? So not only they're disrespecting you, now they're even making you think you're crazy for demanding something so basic. And you believe them because you don't have boundaries. Yay. So the whole thing goes on and on. They ghost you for days and you cry, you become desperate, you just blame yourself, you tell how terrible everything is. And then they will pop in one day and they'll be like, oh, they still care, see? All they've done is just written, hey, because they're bored. They don't care about you. They just want to be, and you'll be like, hey, how are you? I've been missing you. You know, like this, what's happening? I feel like you're getting distant from me. And I'm like, they don't reply, or they send you a meme or something stupid. And you're like, oh, it's okay, you know, at least they're writing me. So you're now accepting crumbs. They disappear, appear at their own liking, and you just take them back and in, and you don't say anything. At this point, this is what the relationship has become. Relationship that is in your head, because for them, they've got no commitment to you. They probably have a girlfriend, maybe a wife, maybe they will never consider you as somebody serious because you don't respect yourself. Why would they choose you? Because you're the nice girl? No, they're disrespecting you because you're nice. Exactly, that's why they don't put any value on you, because you're being nice. And nice doesn't get you a reward. It doesn't get you the same reward as when you were small and your parents say, good girl, and now I can give you some attention. That's what you learned from back in the days, right? This does not work anymore. You're an adult now. You're not a baby. You don't need to throw a strop anymore and they'll give you there you go, a reward. They'll give you candies. It's different. We're adults. We're in adults' time, and you need to take and have boundaries, or people will take everything from you, and you'll start crying, you'll get depressed, and you'll get ill. Some people get ill out of honestly sadness and crying, and they develop even illnesses. It's actually terrible. I'm not a therapist, but I've experienced, and I've had friends that have experienced similar things 1,000 times, until I actually said, wait, I don't want to be this person anymore that everybody takes advantage. And I'm not saying about guys only, friends, people, anybody, because the more you don't address a problem, then they'll keep doing it. Now let's step back to what you should be doing instead in these situations. You should not be afraid to say what your boundaries are and who you are as a person. So maybe you're a person that needs reassurance. Maybe you're a person that needs somebody to be consistent, to simply message you just good morning, or to let you know if they're busy. Nobody's too busy to, by the way, send a text, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt because you're a nice girl. But if they're busy, it takes 2 seconds, and you need somebody to let you know that they're busy and to just let you know, and they will just call you later. So what does a person with boundaries, or simply a person like yourself, if you really love yourself and you were the real you, what would that person do? First of all, at the beginning, you don't cling like a crazy person, and every time they call you when it's not convenient for you, when you have sleeping or you have work or you've got other priorities, you're with your friends, you just tell them, hey, sorry. You don't have to be but you just simply say, hi, I actually go to bed at 11, but we can call tomorrow. It's not cold, because you don't say, hey, I don't want to speak to you. You just say, I have other things to do. And you show that person that you've got a life besides them. And you know what? They will respect you more for that, by the way, because your whole life doesn't revolve all around them. And they love a bit of mystery. They love a bit of chase, especially at the beginning. Even you don't even have to owe them anything, especially the first week. You don't even have to reply. If they're calling you when you're sleeping, they're climbing decline the call. You don't even say, hi, sorry, I'm sleeping, but I will speak to you tomorrow. You see how desperate still is? You're sleeping, no, decline the call. And then maybe in the morning, you were saying, hey, I'm sleeping, what's up? Oh, where you were? Like they're trying to come, I'm sleeping. I don't need to re-explain myself. My sleeping times, I'm from here. You can reach me on my waking times. See, that's already a boundary that you're stating and making it clear. That person will try later to still step that boundary. What do? Exactly the same thing. No, sorry, I'm sleeping. Or no, sorry, this date time is too late for me. I've got work tomorrow, I can't. Well, then they will say, oh, sorry, then I can't see you. Okay, having boundaries sometimes it does mean that you can lose a person. Maybe they will disappear because your timings don't coincide. Good. Because that means that person didn't have good intentions with you anyway. They wanted to see you late at night because they wanted to do other things. I don't want to be too rude, but somebody will make effort and time. I don't care how busy they are. They will try to make it work for you, or they will try to say, okay, perfect, then let's wait until the weekend, I'm free, or let's do another time. Let's see what effort they're gonna put into rescheduling or finding a time that works best for you. If they don't care, they're selfish, they just wanna use you, they don't have really interest in getting to know you, or they could just say, hey, I'm just very busy, it doesn't work. If they just say, oh, okay, then never mind. Good, lose these people. You don't want these people, you want real connection. So sometimes having boundaries, yes, it makes you lose people, but these people were never meant to stay in your life because they just wanted to use you and abuse you. And you don't want them anyway. Leave, be okay to lose these people anyway, because if you don't lose them at the beginning, you're gonna lose them anyway later, because when they're just gonna think nothing of you and they're just gonna use you, you don't have them anyway, right? They're just using you when they choose, and they've got probably a girlfriend or somebody else. There is no difference whether you lose them at the beginning or later, but you're just stating boundaries. You really need to understand this. Same thing, you got plans with your friends. They say, hi, can I see you today? No, sorry, I already have plans, but we can reschedule for tomorrow or the weekend. This is somebody that's got boundaries, what they do. Also another example. And that leads to another thing. You will see the level of effort that people make, not only with the texting and thing, but even with the types of dates. Somebody that doesn't care about you normally, so depends on different scenarios and circumstances, but if somebody is a working individual and they've got money that clearly they spend with going out with their friends, you see on the stories, they go out, they do fun things with other people, and when it comes to you, all they say is do you want to go for a walk, or do you want to go for coffee? There's nothing wrong with that, okay? You could do it as later, or let's say if you do the first date and you accept to go for coffee, which is fine. I've done it before. Sometimes I even proposed it, because even so, for example, I don't like drinking, I don't drink, but that's all they offer you all the time. Oh, do you want to just go for a walk, or do you want to go for a coffee? Do you want to come around mine? Do you see the level of effort that they're putting? Especially at the beginning, when somebody wants to win you over and impress you. That's all they're giving you. They don't care. And again, another boundary would be, you tell them, if you don't feel comfortable going for walks, or you want to go for dinner even the first day, that's your boundary. It's not wrong or right or wrong. I feel people demonize, and they just so quickly to say, oh, you're a gold digger. What, because I want to go for dinner? You can pay your own if you don't want. You know what I mean? Why would you accept all the time things that you don't like, or things that make you feel less valuable? These people will keep treating you like this. This is the value that they're putting. And again, there is nothing wrong with going for a coffee for a first date, or doing something more chill. But if that's all they're always offering you, then you know that's where they're putting you, and the category and the level of effort they're putting you, because then you're seeing them going out with their friends, spending money, they have all the things, but when it comes to you, sorry, I don't have money, do you want to go for a coffee, or do you want to come around mine? No. This is going to be super controversial, but you should not give access to your body to somebody, especially at the beginning, because they've not earned anything. I mean, if you have the urge and you want to, as a girl, you want to do it because that's you, that's something else. But a lot of times girls would give something so precious because they think that's where men are gonna bond to them, when for them it doesn't mean anything, and for you it means a lot. So please don't do that. Don't think that you sleeping with a man will get him closer to you. That's not how it works. Men don't get attached like that like we do. Our body chemically releases hormones. It's not the same for you, unless obviously you want to do that because you feel a little bit more spicy, then that's something different. Okay, then do it. But never use that, please, as a way to win somebody over, because again, that's giving something too much when they've not given you enough. At the beginning, they've got no loyalty for you. They're speaking to multiple people. It wouldn't be surprising. And also it's a little bit normal sometimes too, because you don't want to invest into like a person that you don't know. They could be like a horrible person, maybe. You don't know. They don't know you. Now, the next thing is going to be really hard, but that's necessary. Somebody crosses a boundary, so they don't speak to you. They disappear. So what do? You don't start playing game. You got ghosting them or like do any other things. You just simply address it like an adult, and you just tell them, hi, by the way, I'm a person that likes communication. I like to hear somebody and somebody that is consistent. So you don't need to over-explain yourself too much, especially at the beginning. But then you can see, now you stated your boundary and you wait. You see how that person reacts to this boundary. They can either respect it or cross it. And guess what? Some people will cross it because they want to test what you will do once they cross it. So they will still ignore you. They will not call you. So what do? You pull back. You don't give more and chase more. Okay, then I will speak to you, because then you're showing them that your boundaries don't mean anything. Even if you say something, you don't even respect it. So why would they respect it? They'll keep doing it. So what do? Perfect. I told you that I don't like something and you keep doing it, then I withdraw. Unless they've got an excuse or something happened that they let you know, they've got no excuse for overcrossing a need or a boundary. You don't give more, you give less. At that point, if they care, they will reach back out to you and say, hey, you don't pretend like nothing is wrong. They say, hey, how are you? Like, how's life? Because that's, again, crossing a boundary. You just let them cross the boundaries. You just waited a little bit more and they just think, okay, this is fine. She's angry for a few days and then I'll do it again. It's fine, she's fine. No, you need to stick to your words, stick to your boundaries. So you tell them, hey, I didn't like how I spoke to you and you just ignored my boundary or what I said. You could either give them benefit of the doubt and say what happened, and at that point they could show you, so you give them a chance to explain themselves. Maybe something happened and they say, oh, actually this, I'm really sorry, I'll make it up for you, and they do make it up for you. So from then they will start letting you know and they will contact you, or they will try, at least they will make an effort, some sort of effort that you see, or they will just say, hey, yeah, sorry, and then they'll do it again. Or they just say, oh, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're on about. Again, that's just being dismissive. So we treat them as somebody that crossed the boundary. So at this point, block. I know it sounds crazy because, like I said, somebody that crosses your boundary and doesn't respect your boundary, doesn't even acknowledge your boundary, that is not a lot of effort. Somebody sending you one text a day, it takes 2 seconds. They cannot even do that, especially at the beginning. They will never do anything more than what you think in your head. In your head, you want marriage, you want somebody that is there for you. Why not? You want somebody that is there for you, comforts you, that holds you, that keeps you, that protects you, that makes you feel safe. They can't even do that. They can't even send you a text and you think they're gonna do everything else that you have in your head, that you will project into them, thinking that that's what they will become one day. No, they can't even send you a text. And this is the hardest thing that you will do, by the way, because you'll think, am I exaggerating? Maybe I'm being too harsh, you know? You start thinking like, I don't know, like, maybe I'm exaggerating, really. No, you're sticking to your words, you're being true to yourself. You explained already what you want, and this person has showed you and has told you that they're not able to give it to you. So why would you stay and try and teach them? They don't learn, they never learn. Why would you forgive them and allow them to do it over and over and over and over again? And then you crying and you think, why they cannot love me? But they showed you since the beginning that they didn't, my darling. And you just decided to stay. You decided to allow them. So they will keep doing it. They will not change. You will not teach them. And it's so pointless when you hear your friends' stories and they say, yeah, it's changed. Or you heard of somebody that this happened and eventually they changed. It doesn't work like this. Have you ever seen the movie, what was it? It wasn't How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Something like They Don't Like You Enough or something. It's a film, I cannot think about it. But anyway, there is the rule and the exception. You're not the exception. You cannot live by the miracle. It's like somebody that won the lottery. You heard of somebody that has won the lottery, but one in like 10,000 maybe. You cannot act like you're that 10,000 because you waste years of your life. Don't live by the dream, the delusion, actually, let's call it delusion, because you are being delusional with yourself, sorry. So you have to cut it there before you start getting too attached to them, because you will. And you know what will make you attached to them? Even if you say, no, it's fine, I'm not gonna get attached because I know that it's an act. so I'm not gonna get attached. You will get attached. You know why? Because you start projecting. You start projecting and you start dreaming that he becomes that person that you want inside your head, but he's not. He is not. So you lying to yourself, you're basically self-inflicting pain. And if you block them in that instant where you see that disrespect, the first time, I swear to God, you will save you months, years of crying, because that person will not change. And if you don't believe me, just check back into your life, into your experience. How many times has this happened? How many times you've given chances? How many times have you forgiven? How many times you've put yourself after? You destroyed your boundaries for somebody, and what is the reward that you got back? Did they love you? Did they respect you? Did they change into the Prince Charming that you had in your head? Think about this, please, now. It's not gonna change because now you found a different person, because you keep attracting these people. And you know what? The more you tell yourself you want a good, healthy relationship, and the more you let these people stay into your life, you send that signal into the universe. And I'm not, maybe some people don't believe into that, whatever. It's not even about the universe, it's about your brain and how science works. The more you keep selecting the same type of people, and that's why you think that, oh, all guys are the same. No, it's because you choose them, you attract them. When you let somebody disrespect you, you send that signal into your brain that it's okay to keep finding the same person next time. So you wasted a year and you tell yourself, no, I'm not gonna let them do it, I'm not gonna choose, and you find the same person because your brain selects the same person. You told your brain, you send signals to your brain that it's okay to do that. It's okay to have people do that to you. So it becomes your norm. It's normal to you now. It's your type of relationship. So it's not that all men are the same. It's that since the beginning, you allow them to cross your boundaries, and you always get the same people until you send another different signal to your brain that somebody, when they do something, that you truly remove them. Not just for a week, you block them and then you unblock them after a week because you feel lonely. But you truly, honestly tell to your brain and to yourself and to the universe, if you believe that, to God, whatever, you say, I don't want this. I don't want this relationship. Send it back. Send it back into the universe. Send it back to where it was coming from. Now you broke a pattern that you weren't used to before. Now you stop the disrespect. Now you're teaching your brain that you want a different type of relationship. So you start looking for a different type of person. Not the one that does that. Now a different. Let's try this one instead. But until you break that pattern, you will find over and over again the same guys. And you start always blaming it on the outside circumstances. Why am I so unlucky? Why are all the bad people? Why all men are crap? You choose them. You allow them. You keep them returning into your life. You need to hold yourself accountable, because the more you keep blaming other people, of course people are crap, but whose fault is that you allow them into your life? You need to take responsibility also, my darling. If you don't, you'll keep being the victim. You play the victim. Oh no, I'm a poor little girl here in this harsh world. When you don't realize that you allow these people into your world, wake up, stop playing the victim. You allow these people, you allow these co-workers to keep taking advantage of you, giving you extra work, more shifts. Your friends take advantage of you, to treat you like crap, and with the other friends they do all the fun stuff, and with you to do nothing, or to say how much they care, and you always see with other people, with you nothing. You keep them, it's your fault. You allow this behavior. They did something bad to you, it's your fault. You didn't address it, and you didn't tell them, no, this is not okay with me, and they'll keep it doing it again until you say no, until even you will lose these people. Finally, you block these people, you have lost them, right? Yeah, but you send that signal now. I don't want this. You don't want these people anyway. Do you want these people? Then you let them into your life, crying for months, for years, la la la. You want this? You don't want this relationship, right? So what do we do when we find these kind of people? You send them back. Bye. You don't want them. It's okay losing this type of people. You don't want these people. You want healthy relationships. So you have to send the right signal. So I feel like we are rambling for a long time now. I feel like for now we'll continue with another episode, and we'll explore boundaries. We'll do them a little bit more. If you want to, let me know. But I hope this helped you a little bit, and it helped you at least identify that you have the power to send the right message into the universe, into your brain. If you don't believe in universe and things like that, and law of attraction, because you could just trying to manifest all that you want, a healthy relationship, marriage. You might try to manifest, visualize the wedding. Yeah, visualize the wedding. And then what you do with your actions, you get the to keep disrespecting you. Somebody will never marry you because they show them by their action. You forgive them and you hope that they will marry you. When they will never marry you, you know that they will not. But you're delusional. So stop being delulu, my love. And as much as hard it is at the beginning, trust me, it will be so hard to block, to lose those people, because you attached a different meaning to them than who they really are. But it's an act. You are attaching that. You are attaching that projection. Remove that, and slowly it will become easier. I swear to you, it will become easier to identify these people and to remove them. And opposite to that, when you have good boundaries, you'll attract people that really like you for who you are. They know that you're a person that likes to have a message every day, or to have a date arranged maybe once a week or maybe twice, or whatever your it is. Doesn't mean that there is never gonna be compromise later on, especially if somebody makes the effort for you and they show really that they care for you and they have other needs and things. Then sometimes you both need to compromise. You're not just the princess, but it doesn't mean getting your value down, getting disrespected, or simply sometimes is that two people are not compatible and then they're suitable for somebody else. That's not your love story. You have a beautiful love story in your head, and you want to, even if we don't have to be delusional, obviously, like being, it's not gonna be a fairy tale happily ever after, because that doesn't exist. Nobody is always happy, but at least you're choosing somebody that respects your core values, your core boundaries, who you are. You don't have to change yourself. You don't have to pretend to be the nice, good girl. You're just you, and people love you for you. How beautiful it is for somebody to see you for who you really are, with your flaws, with your anger sometimes too, because you come as a package, you come as flaws, you come as perfections, everything together. That's what makes us human. But how beautiful it is to finally drop all your mask down, to drop everything down, and to show yourself to the world for who you really are, and for that person to really see you and choose to be with you, so that you don't have to change, you don't have to perform, you don't have to act. They love you for you. How beautiful is that? But you can never do that until you start a little bit, at least slowly. You cannot change from today to tomorrow if you're a people pleaser, but slowly to communicate who you are and what your needs are, slowly. And hopefully I'll see you next time for another episode. I would love for you to subscribe, and so we can keep the chats with Chiara, and see you next time with another episode. Ciao.